Ladies and gentlemen of the interwebs, you are staring at the globalist three-passport carrying whore, the member of the WEF, Bilderberg, NGO, New World Government, Mark J. Carney. I thought long and hard before starting the show, do I do it in my intro golf voice to make fun? Or do I do it in a serious voice because I'm actually seething with rage? I have opted for the latter. No, sorry, the former. We will begin with humor, because at some point in time, if you do not laugh, all there is to do is cry or scream at the clouds in seething hot rage. Behold!
There have been a few surprises during my first months as Prime Minister. For example, I hadn't expected to spend so much time dealing with wildlife. Belugas, ostriches, premiers, except for present company accepted, obviously. Actually, there is no need for a mass cull because the premiers and I are uniting around projects that will diversify our trade, unlock billions in new investment, create hundreds of thousands of high-paying careers. Or as the National Post headline put it, Mark Carney fast-tracks the road to serfdom. I mean, you can't buy that kind of support, even if we do fund it. It's true, Conrad. It's true. It's true.
This is quite literally the exact same joke that Justin Trudeau made. I'll see if I can pull that one up in a second. We're going to let this play out. Then we're going to play it again only for the first 30 seconds.
Just the facts. Helen's here. It's got to be right. I've got to. You know. Now, speaking of taxpayer-funded purveyors of post-apocalyptic dystopia, Yves-François Blanchet and the Bloc are in the house.
Like I try to laugh, and I try to laugh at everything, especially that which I cannot change. Rage. These people are the worst people on earth. They literally laugh at your misery. I'm going to play the first part of this again because I listened to this and I'm like, did I misunderstand something? Like everybody sort of hung up on he's making a joke about the slaughter of the ostriches. He's laughing at other people's misery, literally. And I heard something a little bit not even different in addition to laughing at the tyrannical misery inflicted by that authoritarian terrorist government, the Liberal government of Canada.
There have been a few surprises during my first months as Prime Minister. For example, I hadn't expected to spend so much time dealing with wildlife. Belugas, ostriches, premiers. Except for present company accepted, obviously.
Premiers.
Actually, there is no need for a mass cull.
Do you understand what he's talking about here?
Because the premiers and I are uniting around projects that will diversify our trade, unlock billions in new investment.
I'm going to pause it right there. So I'm going to leave this open. You got to share this and put this on blast. Laughing at the slaughter of the ostriches. Isn't that funny? And then he says, premiers. But there will be no need for a cull in respect of the premiers. I'm thinking like, I must be going crazy. Like there's no way that would be part of the joke. Oh, there's no need to mass kill the premiers. Present company excluded, of course, because we kill ours the last. It's not a question of when they're up against the wall. It's just a question of our allies being the last up against the wall when we decide that they're now adversaries. He literally said premiers as part of the wildlife, but there's no need for a cull because we're in ideological alignment on whatever the hell issue he was talking about. Translation, we'll kill parliamentarians, premiers, if they're not in alignment with our political plans. Someone put out, I remember seeing it back in the moments after the slaughter. I don't know if it was this particular account, but many people were echoing a very similar sentiment. What they did to the ostriches, they wanted to do to the unvaxxed 5 years ago. They are salivating at another chance, and that is from the architect at the MARCITECT. I'm not putting this account on blast. Let me see here. Hitting the midlife crisis just as the world is going to shit is confusing. I don't know if I should get pregnant or buy a new Corvette. That's funny. I remember tweets like this at the time. They wanted to do to the unvaxxed what they did to the ostriches, and if they get another chance, they will do it. And I remember people saying, Viva, that's crazy hyperbole. This is why they're all crazy. The far-right extremists, the anti-vaxxers, the anti-science. Oh, how dare they say such a... You literally just had Mark J. Carney, 3 passport-carrying globalist WEF whore, joking about the slaughter, because it's funny after all. Killing innocent, healthy animals is funny after all. And then making the joke that he's been dealing with wildlife, belugas, ostriches, premiers. But there's no need for a cull because right now we're in alignment. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe they're actually joking about the seriousness of what they would do if they had unchecked power. Oh, yeah, no, but then the media is being so hard on Mark J. Carney. Do you remember that? Do you remember that time? What's his face? Scumbag McGee, the other globalist whore, communist pig, Justin Trudeau at the time, made the exact same joke. And then they used it and said, oh no, he was just making fun of the fact that despite funding the media, they still criticize the government. Listen to this.
You sometimes hear about liberal bias in the media these days, how they're constantly letting our government off the hook for no good reason. Frankly, I think that's insulting. It's clear that they let us off the hook for a very good reason, because we paid them $600 million. You don't get stellar headlines like these without greasing the wheels a bit.
Now, pause it right here, because the fact checkers, the fake news wordsmiths of the devil at the time, were fact checking this and saying, oh no, because what Marty from up north, and I know him, he's a good guy, didn't do himself any favors by putting Justin Trudeau's face over the headlines that Justin Trudeau was referring to in the original unedited clip, which I can't find immediately. The headlines in the back were National Post, I forget exactly from what outlets, and they were criticizing Trudeau. So Trudeau's point was, oh, despite the fact that we paid them $600 million, they still criticize us. The criticism in those headlines of that state-funded, state-bought media were pussyfooting around actual criticism. It was whitewashing of actual criticism. It was whitewashing of actual corruption. That is what you would call the controlled opposition. Yeah, you pay them $600 million. It can't all be hand jobs and back massages. They've got to criticize the government a little bit to make it look legitimate. The criticisms in those headlines were bullshit criticisms. What is literally controlled opposition? Well, we pay them. You better put a little bit of opposition, but not too much. And they tell you what they're doing as they do it. Mark Carney making the exact same freaking joke with the exact same fake criticism from state-funded media that knows you can push back a little bit. You gotta look like you're fighting, but not hard enough to win. You know, it's like in a fixed fight, you gotta punch back, otherwise everybody knows the fight's fixed. Punch back too hard, you might throw the fight, or you might interfere with fixing the fight, and then whoever it is, the gangsters that bet on the fight being fixed, might go after you if you screw things up. So that's what's going on in Canada. Never forget. And I am a little bit black-pilled. I've been in touch with Katie since. And I'm always honest. I just, blunt. They won. There will never be justice in that injustice. There will never be political or judicial retribution. They got away with it. They got away with it because they had the cover of the courts. They had the cover of the armed Gestapo agents known as the RCMP, or as I like to call them, the RCMG. They had the cover of the media, and they had the cover of the most brainwashed population on earth, liberal Canadians, and even some conservatives. What did the conservatives say about it? Jack shit. They got away with it. There will never be justice. There will never be punishment. There will never be retribution, because they had the blessing of the Supreme Court when the Supreme Court played literal Pontius Pilate and said, I don't want to get involved here, so I'll just defer to the authority of the administrative tribunals. Kill away. And so I'm black-pilled about it. I speak with Katie. She's going to continue with a righteous pursuit of justice, and I don't believe there ever will be any justice in this situation. Not only will there not be justice, you have a bunch of Canadians who are all too happy to usher in their own demise, like lemmings to the cliff. Be careful what you wish for. And you get what you vote for. The only problem is, so do other good people who didn't vote for that shit and don't deserve that shit. And you will say, what the hell did we usher in? When they come to your front door and say, yeah, we need to kill your dog, or we need to kill your cat, or we need to quarantine your 8-year-old kid because he played with a dead bird in the backyard. Oh, you don't like it? You saw what we did to the ostriches, motherfucker. You think we're going to stop there? Serenity now.